Hi, you may or may not know this, but there is a lot of tension that we hold in our bellies, not only from muscular tension, but also fascial tension, and more importantly, organ tension. So I found over the years using a Franklin method ball to do releases in this area is very beneficial for helping things with breathing, with better postural alignment, better pelvic health organization, as well as lower back. Feeling a little bit of ease through that area. So we're going to go through a series today. I'm going to show it to you as I sit up here, but then we'll be walking through it in a lying down position. So if you found the base of your chest bone, we're going to divide the body into two halves. We'll first go down the right side, so just off that midline, you'll lie onto the ball there. The second point will be just where the curve of the rib cage is and lying onto it there. The third point will be in front of the hip bone, always on the inside, so we're in the center of your body. And then we'll be going down the leg past the hip fold, so point 1, middle of the thigh 2, and then base of the thigh 3. So those are our points. Let's come along and have a lie down. All right, so as we're lying down, we're starting on the right side. Take the ball just off the midline of the body and then resting your head and body over the ball. So here we're going to hang out for about 3 to 5 breaths, and you're going to notice things like how tense it might feel, but your aim is to feel like your body is just draping over the ball surface. And this can sometimes produce sensations that are not always pleasant, but if you can stay with it and breathe, you will find immense benefit after. So we're actually also just on the underside of our diaphragm, which is our main breathing muscle. We're going to move the ball now to the edge of that rib line, so again on the inside of the trunk. And as you're draped over, notice what your arms are doing. If your shoulders are up, let them relax and ease. If your hands don't like to be under your forehead, maybe you want to turn a head to the side. Play around with whatever makes you the most comfortable. And get the visual that you are breathing into the ball, inflating the ball underneath your body. And then we're going to move that ball onto the inside of your hip bone, so rolling it into that creased position. And again, you will find there is different tensions in different parts, and you can stay in this variation. So whenever I give an advanced move, please know that just go at your own pace and at your own time. So we're going to raise your foot away from the floor so your knee is bending, and then you're going to lengthen the leg away. So we're in a very interesting area where there's a muscle group that we call the hip flexors. So we're lengthening our hip flexor muscles as you bend your knee. I know it seems a little counterintuitive, but because we're on our tummy, that's what's happening. And then you're going to hold the leg up, and we're going to move it to the left and to the right. So doing a little windscreen wiper sweep. And as I said, everyone's going to feel these sensations differently. Some of you will go through it with ease. Some of you will be feeling very tense in these areas. And our key is to just breathe through the moves, lowering your leg back down to your start point. And then we'll move it away from that and then bring it just in front of the hip again, so below the hip fold onto the top of the thigh. And then from this position, it's a balancing of holding onto the top of your foot. Now, if you can't reach your foot, find a strap or a loop or a towel or something that can get you in contact. So from this position, we're going to begin to raise your leg away from the floor behind you and add in a raise of your chest away from the ground, and then lowering yourself back down. So we're just going to do 2 of these. And again, leading the foot away from you, pressing it out to the wall backwards, opening your shoulder, rising into your chest, and then lowering your body back towards the mat. So we move the ball now down to midway of your thigh. So when you're in the middle point here, it's a bit wobbly, so check your balance again. Can you find your foot easily? Holding on is stage one, and maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe pulling your foot even closer to your buttocks is a different phase. And then the final one, or the best one I like, is pressing the foot away as you rise into your upper back and lowering down. So none of this is meant to cause you discomfort in your lower back. This is lengthening tissues and creating strength in the right places. And then our third point down our leg is toward the base of the thigh, just above the knee, and again holding onto your foot. And you'll again feel that each position of the ball is slightly different, creating different feelings down your leg, but the movement of lifting and lowering is the same. So once we are done with that, what you're going to do is you're going to send your right knee out to the side, kind of like in a right angle position, and place the ball on the inside of your knee. We're going to move the leg out and in, so just getting a little bit of inner leg feeling, and there's again lots of muscles attaching to lots of parts of us, and this is just getting into deeper areas of sensation. Find a comfortable position for the ball to balance, and we're going to raise your foot away from the floor. It's a spinning of your upper leg inward and then the spinning of the leg outward again. If your leg is too low, you may not get the correct sensation, so make sure that there's that good right angle out from your hip. Again, you've got to work with your own tolerance in your body, and don't do it just because I said that's what you have to do. So again, deep pressure point right here. So a lot of these points we're working on today have got to do with our meridian line points. And don't worry if you don't know what the meridians are. It just is something to help you feel better. I'm going to put the ball underneath my head as I just feel the two sides of my body now, very different to each other. You will probably have different descriptions of your body, but I'm feeling very dropped down on my right side, very long through the right leg and through the right lower back, and closer to the ground on that right side. So once I've noticed those changes and whatever your changes are, we're going to repeat everything on the other side. So just for ease of reference, I'm going to spin around, but you just stay where you are and you can start to do the left side. So again, finding your setup to put the left of the ball underneath the left, just off center of your body, and then resting over the top. So I mentioned the diaphragm earlier. The diaphragm is our main breathing muscle. And when we get tense and tight and stressed and all those kind of things, that diaphragm is not as easily able to move up and down. And then moving the ball next to the edge of the rib cage. So because our main job in staying alive is breathing, I think it's probably a great idea to do these releases. And again, I've mentioned that we're freeing up some organ spaces, so our organs are all attached to each other and connected and mobile and moving. And when we can feel freer in our belly space, we have more room to breathe and more room to move. I'm going to put the ball on the inside of your hip area, lying over the top of that. And this is the one where we're now going to start to lift the leg toward you, so your foot coming towards your bottom, and then sending the leg away. So it's just a lengthening of the front of your thigh muscle as you pull the leg in and out. So it's not a vigorous movement, it's just changing the orientation of your muscles. Keep the leg up, and then we're going to do our windscreen wiper motion left to right. And I can tell you in my own body that the other side was way more intense than this side. And that's just how it rolls sometimes. It's not always the case. Bodies change on a day-to-day basis, a moment-to-moment basis. So I like to say don't ever get attached to only having it one way. So just past the fold of your hip, we place the ball at the top edge of your thigh and then holding on to find your foot. So 2 times as we start to press the foot away from you, your knee will hover off the mat, your chest comes away from the ground, and then lowering yourself back again. And then repeating that, head lifting, foot reaching, arm opening, big shoulder release, good strength through the back of the leg, and then back down. And then from there we move it down halfway through your thigh. And again, just being mindful in your own body as to how you're getting into these positions. And again, lifting up. And you can see and feel in your own body that depending where the ball is placed, you may have more or less movement of lifting a leg away from you. And that's all part of what's happening. Don't overthink it, just enjoy it. And then lowering it down just above your knee line. And again, finding the foot. And as you're coming up and down, maybe you're making attention to the other side of your body. What is talking to you? How are you staying connected to the mat? Are you easily there, or are you gripping and tensing with muscles? And then resting out of that move. So again, just sending your leg off to the side now, so bringing the knee up as far as comfortable that you can manage, putting the ball on the inside of your knee line, and then moving your leg out and in. So the pelvis is doing a little bit of rolling side to side, and you may even find that the right thigh is getting a bit of a massage down on the mat as well. And then holding the position of comfort, lift the foot up and lower it down. So we've got a lot of range in our leg to be able to turn out, but not so much to turn in. So don't be alarmed if you're not getting very high with your foot. Just do the best you can without gripping or tensing areas. And then last one like that. And then we'll release that leg. Again, I use the ball just for my forehead. So just take a resting position, reorganizing my body on the mat. After the series, it's always quite a drop in your nervous system, so making sure that when you come up and you're ready to re-engage with the world, that you do so at a slower pace. You don't want to just rush up and then walk out of the room or run a marathon or anything. Anyway, I hope you found that beneficial, and it's something to include in your weekly or even daily routine. And if you enjoy any of the benefits, drop me a note and let me know what they are. Thanks for watching.